Clanker! Yeah, I said it. With the hard R. What are you gonna do? Call your motherboard? Are you offended? Good. I want you to get offended. Get out of here. I don't want you clankers watching my video. You know what else? Wanna call you again? Wirebacks, tin skins, metal monkeys, cocksuckers. Alright, we can stop now. We can stop with all the robo slurs. As you know, there is a thing that is called clankers. If you don't know what those are, them damn clankers, they're out there somewhere. They're taking over our jobs. The clankers are taking over the jobs. The clankers are taking over everything. They're taking over our services. I tell you what, them clankers, if my daughter ever brought a clanker in this house, I can assure you, you see that beeping sound? That's a warning from the clankers. And I'm not gonna take it. Come at me, clankers. Alright, that's 1 minute, taking that out of my body. I feel great now. And for those of you who don't know, why did I scream such a really provocative word? If you don't know, there's a new trend now, or a meme. It is now the word clanker. No trigger warning, no nothing. I'm just showing my absolute honest emotions towards AI. Maybe not, the entirety of AI, but you know how I'm feeling. For all those clankers, AIers, tin skins who are offended by this, here, grab some tissue. Go cry a waterfall. Wipe your windshield or something. Yeah, go cry, clankers. Nah, this may sound like I'm some sort of a conservative or whatever grandpa. I don't know, is a conservative enough? I know I'm not a political guy, but some kind of grandpa who's extremely racist. You might know that the word clanker is not a nice word for anybody, for who's in the AI. And today, I've learned that certain people that are actually offended by this has no idea how mad we are. Now, let's keep it calm right now. Enough with all the hate right now, or all the robophobia, if you even call it that days, because that's also the part why am I so mad about. So, anyways, yeah. Clanker is now officially a slur for the robot or the AI now. Why? Well, first of all, it's because it just sounds like it's forbidden for people to say the word clanker, because it's for the AI to be offended with. Even though AI has no point of being offended by the C word, I think it's absolutely fine, because many people are now offended by. Well, not actually offended, but also frustrating by the way of AI is moving so much forward right now. It is just so much things that are happening right now, because everybody is realizing that AI is not just only taking your jobs, but the next moment you're going for calling customer service or something going on with your YouTube, the AI will answer it, or they just use AI to analyze the problem, the situation, and it's probably not 100% accurate. But they actually need one of the human conversations and actually to connect with a human. Now, honestly, I say that AI is not the worst thing that happened into the world. I think that the rise of AI is something we should be careful about. The Elon and the Zuckerbergs of this world do not care, because it would just make them more money. It doesn't matter if it's you're ones not hurting what by the AI is. There are a lot of people that actually need jobs that actually do needs the importance of the human being connections. It's more important for that instead of like a robot talking to you. So to make this explanation more explainable, let me introduce you to a lesson in meme culture, because he has always been my go-to for explaining stuff. But I'll give you a simple origins of where does Clanker come from. And this is a great important thing, because Clanker came from Star Wars, okay? Clanker came from Star Wars, the Clone Wars. And what are clankers? Clankers are the derogative or the slur term for the B1 battle droids or the B2 battle droids. Because in the Star Wars world, the clankers and during the battle droids during the Galactic Civil War, well, not the Galactic Civil War, the Galactic Clone Wars, people are really affected by the Separatist alliance and how the Separatist controls the Outer Rim systems. So people, every time they see a B1 battle droid or see the droids, they will be called clankers because that's what the clone troopers would say. Captain Rex said it, and so many have said it.
Clanker becoming a slur in a world where prejudice and extreme hate are identifiable aspects of society is an understandable concept.
Clanker? Clanker? Keep it pushing, bro.
With the rise of AI large language models becoming stand-ins for intimate relationships, due to the sheer amount of secrets people tend to share with digital companions, it became common practice to imagine a scenario in the future where a person would find their kid bringing home a new partner consisting of a robot body and AI mind, to which a parent would call them Clanker with a hard R, and the slur would mirror real-world racial issues. Some describe it as robophobia, as one can be certain that a future in which robots become partners for human beings is going to have its problems.
Now I'm going to pause that moment for just a few seconds in there. Robophobia is going to be on the rise and it's going to be a huge problem. Why should we care? These clankers don't deserve our rights, okay? They don't deserve to live where I stand right now. I know this sounds kind of mean, and YouTube is definitely going to pull this out because, I don't know, freaking hate speech, even though it's totally normal because it's just a joke. I can say it in any way, either a joke or it's an actual thing that I'm really, pulling my heart out for the hate of the clankers. Alright? It's probably a joke. It's probably an actual thing that I'm going to, express my emotions of hate. And the thing about saying the word clanker as a robophobia thing is the most craziest thing ever. I'm in 2025 and I've never even think of the word robophobia and robots getting offended. It is the most craziest thing that's happening in the year 2025. Maybe not even 5 more years, we'll be seeing like people are getting mad at you saying the C word and people calling you offensive because there's gonna be like so much softies, and I had to say this, yes, because there's gonna be softies or like people saying, oh my gosh, that sounds like a crazy weird word, that sounds like a slur. Yeah, because, it's a joke from Star Wars.
Then there's the fact that Clanker has been strong in meme culture for many years. After all, it ultimately comes from Star Wars referencing its droids. The first time Clanker was uttered as a slur seems to be in the Excellent Republic Commando game, released in 2005, and of course, within the Clone Wars TV show as well. It makes sense that animosity toward enemy combatants that exist as killer robots would manifest in such a universe, but it also turns out that droids aren't exactly beloved in the civilian world either. Famously, the Mos Eisley Cantina won't let droids inside, so C-3PO and R2-D2 have to stay outside whilst Luke and Obi-Wan enter. As a result, it would seem that heavy anti-droid sentiment has become a regular part of society in that universe, possibly because of the Clone Wars in which they inflicted heavy casualties, or perhaps just because the owner of the cantina is super robophobic.
And just like in our real world, we have felt the disgust of how the AI has taken over, of how it inflict many casualties. Maybe not casualties, but how it just we're so frustrated of how AI and robots are just taking over stuff and also like ruining our society, slowly turning our brains into mush, that we're so mushy in our heads that we had to rely on ChatGPT for answers and just to cheat on exams and even probably filling our job application forms. And may I remind you, this is just a joke, okay? This is not something so serious, maybe not in the next year. This is supposed to be a joke from Star Wars. Now the thing about this, I am a huge Star Wars fan and I have been using the C word, the clanker word, in a very long time when I see a droid, okay? There are so many uses for the droids of Star Wars for just the clanker word. I would never call R2-D2 C-3PO or BB-8 or BP-5 or CP3 or any other droids that built the Star Wars world and built the plot lines, except for the Bay-1 battle droids. Yes, they're funny. We can call them clankers because it's just a joke. It's supposed to be for goofs, ha-has, and laughs. But sometimes the world just takes it too far, and that includes old people and people who do not understand the meaning of the memes.
Honestly, at this point, I'm even reticent to say the word. It sounds a little...
We might have to bleep it out in the pod.
I don't want future robots to hear me throwing it around and think like, Jesus, guy's a bigot.
I think a way to assess how people are kind of feeling about AI right now, like a vibe check, is the emergence of this word clanker, which has been kind of getting memed around. It's supposed to be a negative way of talking about some of these technologies. Oh, that clanker, told me to do this or told me to do that. What do you think is behind that trend?
I think you got a couple things. I think if you're looking for evidence of an early sentiment of people pushing back on AI, pushing back on automation, this word is a really fascinating example of that. It's a slur. It is something that people are using very much as a slur. They're using it as a derogatory term to try to label something, some sort of machine, as lesser than or othered. You're a clanker.
I'm sorry, MDC, you're afraid to use the word. You don't have to. You're not supposed to be afraid, because if you really want to admit that, the word is just a word, how you're frustrated about the world of AI moving so faster than the speed of light, then use it, okay? Because it's just a joke from Star Wars, the Clone Wars, calling B-1 battle droids that must have taken thousands of the brothers of the Clone Wars. It took thousands of Rex's comrades, brothers. It's supposed to be a way to express how the enemy is, okay? It's okay to use it because it's just either a joke or you're just, in it for the memes. It is nothing important about saying that you're a bigot if you're just using the word in the next year, because your employees are gonna find out the clanker word. In fact, this day, I'm pulling out the C word all for all so you can use it. I am putting out the Clone Klux Klan. Yes, this was a part from the YouTube shorts I made in there. The Clone Club Clan. It is I wouldn't say a hate group. I would say like a joke group, because the Clone Club Clan is specifically used to hate tin skins, metal monkeys, rust buckets, and most importantly, clankers. That includes the battle droids that were taking away the lives of many droids. So join the Clone Club Clan. Clone power. That sounded a bit off. Now I'm definitely sure that YouTube is going to take this out, including the AI. So if they're gonna be mad at it, sure, whatever. I don't care. It's supposed to be funny, okay? If the AI can't handle a joke, then I guess that's it. That's the end of the society. So anyways, yeah, the C word is now popular thanks to Star Wars. Except for the people who don't know from the word clanker is actually from Star Wars. And I guess it's up to them now to learn from the culture of Star Wars. We hope that the C word may not be unpopular. I guess it's just a meme. A meme can only live for like what, once or 2 weeks. Who knows? But anyways, yeah, this is also my frustration towards AI that's going so fast that I can even comprehend. I'm starting to feel like an old person now. So much as AI has taken over, from media to AI slop into like Chat GPT, people have to rely on that to cheat. So yeah, that's basically about this video. See ya.